Hello, 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 Facebook family and friends. How are you today? I hope people had an opportunity to see that was going to come out live today at 12 o'clock. I am here with LaShawn as well.
Hey, good morning. Well, good afternoon. It's noon now.
Yeah. And wait a couple of seconds and see if we get a couple people to kind of come and stream in with us.
Yep.
We're going to need your help. This is the first time I am using this platform, which is helps me to stream into Facebook. So I'm not quite sure how it all works. So I'm gonna need people to either message me or comment to let me know if something is going a little wonky here or there. If you're out there, I do need a little check-in so we can make sure that this is going okay. So it looks like we got a couple views. Okay, very good, very good. Great. So I see a few people chiming in. I got a couple messages that they're coming in. You're gonna have to bear with me a little bit because the speaker element is a little bit echoing and in and out. We're doing it from our laptops and trying this new platform. But nonetheless, the reason that I wanted to come in today is I was watching this morning and they made a comment or they reported that with this new stimulus that is coming out, it finally passed last night. So that it passed the Senate last night. So that's great news. And how it's going to be rolled out. And so I saw a lot of previous emails and correspondences and text messages that were saying, oh, you got to fill out your census data, which is not accurate, but instead of me saying anything, I figure we will wait until we actually got some real information and data. So when I saw that and they said, hey, it tied to this, that, and other, I felt like, hey, we got to get out here, provide as much information as possible to everyone. So I thought of LaShawn because she does own a tax preparation company. So I'll pause for a moment to allow her to introduce herself.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I am LaShawn Reed-Hendricks. I am the owner of Tax Refund. We're located right in the Garfield Heights area, right near Mark's in the plaza, Garfield Mall Plaza. We've been there now. This is our second year, our second tax season. And just excited to be on here with Tiffany today. There's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of things that some people have shared that may not necessarily be so true. And so when I woke up this morning, I saw Tiffany had sent me a text message like, hey girl, we've got to jump on this Facebook and, give people the right information so that they know what to do, going forward with this whole stimulus package. So Tiffany, thanks for thinking of me and having me on with you.
Absolutely. Being very flexible and spontaneous. One of the things that really struck me, well, let me pause for a moment because I know it will be rebroadcast and may have different viewers than before. Again, I'm Tiffany Hollinger, hashtag AskTiffanyH. And a lot of people may know me as a realtor, but I am also a financial advisor. I've been in the, excuse me, financial service business industry for over 20 years. So I specialize sitting down with clients to help them plan and prepare with their finances. A lot of people think, oh, well, I have to have money to have a planner. No, I help you manage what you have, where you're at now to get to where you want to be in the future. And one of the things that really struck me this morning is when they said that the stimulus is going to be tied to your tax returns. Now, 2019 tax returns, we have an extension.
Yes.
So therefore, they're also going to go off of 2018 tax returns. And I froze because there are so many people that I know are going to miss out because they have not filed tax returns, they don't file tax returns, they are misinformed. about tax returns. And so even when I made the post this morning, I had people saying, things like, well, after a certain age, I don't have to file a tax return. That's not true, and a lot of things. And so I wanted to make sure that we could come out here and provide information to know that that's not true. Because while there's some trying times right now, we want to make sure that anybody that can benefit from these stimulus dollars, they have access to it.
Absolutely.
Now, we did not have a script for this. We did not have an outline for this. We just said, hey, we're going to get out here and provide this information. And so I am going to ask LaShawn a couple questions that I had been asked to clarify a lot of this information. So, LaShawn, can you share with us, is the requirement of filing tax returns age-related?
No, it is not. No, anybody who has any type of income, whether it's W-2 income, self-employment income, Social Security income, any type of income that you earn, you can certainly file a tax return.
So I'm just going to follow up because I'm a slight wordsmith.
Okay.
Can file are required to file?
So there's different requirements in regards to filing when it comes to certain income levels. Okay. For those who are, maybe on Social Security income, or those who may be, doing things, under the table and getting, funded that way, based upon the amount of money that is earned, you then are required to file. So I think you have to, talk to a tax preparer, talk to an accountant, and find, everybody's situation, individual situation is different. If you are earning any kind of money, you should be filing taxes on that money.
And I think that's great, because one of the comments that had been made, or I have, and again, as a financial advisor, I am going off of years of engaging with various people, and this is all economic levels, this is all races, genders, across the board, is that after you get a certain age, you don't have to file an income tax return, or you don't have to pay taxes, federal taxes. Mm-hmm. And we know that that's not accurate. It's always based upon your income, certain income or situations, to your point that you were making, like, college students, or like, you're 16, 17 years old, you have a summer job here and there, you've only probably made a couple $1,000s, and situations like that, income taxes are not required to file an income tax, because one, your parents are still short at that point as well.
But it always behooves you, if you're paying taxes, even as a 16-year-old, whether you're 16 or whether you're 80, filing Social Security, if you're paying taxes, it always behooves you to file a tax return, because that money will then be given back to you in what you paid in taxes. So for instance, my daughter, she's 17 now. When she first started working, we always had her file income tax returns. One, wanted to expose her to what income tax is, how the whole system works. But then two, any taxes that she paid out, she was able to collect those funds back. Because she didn't work, but so many hours, and didn't earn but so much income, she was still able to get her full taxes paid back to her from the IRS.
Right. And thank you for sharing that. And so, like, I, again, as a financial advisor, I always try to educate. Mm-hmm. And so the terminology is, as we're working, and if we're W-2 employees, our employer will withhold taxes for us. It's not being paid, it's being withheld. And how that withholding settles out is determined once you file your tax returns. So if you didn't withhold enough, you end up having to pay. But if they withheld too much, or you had a lot of other deductions and things of that nature,
then you'll get it back.
Refund. So the point she's making is that at that age, or even at someone who's getting just Social Security benefits or retirement, Believe it or not, you're probably entitled to a refund because they were withholding too much out of your pension or your Social Security.
Absolutely.
You can't get
Absolutely.
it unless you file.
Unless you file. Correct.
Yeah. So, and again, while we're here, if anyone has any questions, please ask them because we don't want this to be just us, you know, thinking what we think is relevant. And then we'll also provide our contact information afterwards that, you know, if you feel so inclined to more privately reach out to us, you can do so. The other question was for people who didn't understand that they were required to, may not have filed in some years or whatever. Is there an ability for them to at least file current years and not go back maybe a whole bunch of those other years in the past, but at least maybe start now with the first 2 or 3 years to?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with the IRS, we can go back e-filing, and that's electronic filing, meaning that I can submit all of your documents electronically to the IRS straight through their system, straight to their system for the last 3 years. So we can do 17, 18, and then the current year filing now is 2019. Anything prior to that, we can still prepare it for you, but it does have to be mailed in to the IRS. They don't do electronic filing after the 3-year period is up. But so if you have not received a letter from the IRS stating that they're looking for an income tax return on file for you, then yes, what we can do is start with at least, you want to get the current year done, and then however many years, you know, you want to go back, certainly do that as well. Again, but there's a period of 3 years that we can e-file for you, electronically file for you, which is the fastest way to file. Anything prior to that would have to be paper mailed in.
Awesome. Someone did ask a question. What about just filing state only?
Yes, so that's an option. However, that's not, if you're asking in the sense of this whole stimulus package, that's not going to satisfy that requirement. You have to file both federal and state tax returns. But if you're in a situation where, you know, you may owe the IRS on the federal side, so you're holding off and waiting until the extension time to file that, yes, we can, but you're expecting to receive a state refund, yes, we can file state only now. Understand that the full return does have to be prepared. You cannot just prepare the state return without preparing the federal side of it, but we can submit just the state side for now. And hold off on submitting the federal side until the extension period time comes up.
Absolutely, thank you. And so just to reiterate, the goal that we wanted to accomplish today was to ensure we did not miss out on the stimulus, okay? And so to answer that question, there's ways that you can just file your state and hold off on your federal, but be captured for the stimulus.
Yes.
Federal tax returns need to be paid. Now, again, because we have an extension for 19, then they're going off of 18. So if we don't at least have 18 done, then we need to hurry up and come in and see LaShawn and just do, you gotta start somewhere. So if there's somewhere to start 19 because you have that 1099 or that W-2, that you got that somewhere recently.
And please understand, people, that if you have a W-2 from an employer, if your employer is in, you know, compliance with the IRS, meaning that they filed their taxes as well as a company, please know that the IRS is looking to match what they filed with the individuals who they filed it for. So if they have a list of, let's just say it's a small employer, if there's 10 people who work for the company, and the company has filed their tax returns, they've given your information to the IRS stating that they paid you out this amount of money for that particular tax period. So the IRS then is looking for you on the other side to match up with what the employer is saying. And that's how people get, kind of tangled up in this web with the IRS as far as them looking for your tax returns. So my suggestion is if you have, past due tax returns that are sitting out there that you have not filed, get them filed as quickly as possible. Not only for the stimulus, but you also don't want those issues with the IRS. Once you open that door for them to come in and start asking questions, it's a nightmare to get rid of them. So file your taxes. Please, people, file your taxes.
Right. And so to that end, I know that there's a lot of people who find it particularly challenging because maybe they are one, self-employed, two, a 1099 independent contractor, or some kind, or they work for tips, or they're a beautician, or all of the gamut of entrepreneurship, solopreneurship, and sometimes feel like one way or another. So could you just speak to that, or just about the value from a tax perspective, before I say anything about a financial planning perspective, about the need for them to still file their tax returns?
Absolutely. So I have a lot of clients who, are self-employed. They may receive a 1099. Like Tiffany said, they may be a hairstylist where, they're just, their business is more cash paying. However, you still need to file your taxes for more than one reason. The biggest reason that, a lot of people, when they come to me and they haven't filed back taxes, they've either tried to apply for like a house loan, tried to apply for some kind of loan or something that they're requiring because they don't have a W-2 to show, the banks or the loan companies. So they're requiring that they submit their tax return so that they can see how much money they make. So it's very important as a 1099 self-contractor, or if you own your own small business, however it is you're, set up as a business entity, it's still very important to file your taxes, for many reasons, because a lot of times we don't have the documents as small business owners to provide that normal W-2 workers will have. So the only thing a lot of times that we have to rely on is our tax returns. And now with this whole stimulus thing popping up, it's even more important, that we're showing, how much income we have, because they're basing a lot of it off of what your income level show in your, tax returns.
Right. So because we're midway through, in case we might lose some people and get some new people, LaShawn, can you provide your contact number for people who may want to reach out to you to get your assistance to prepare their tax returns, or ask any further resources about taxes? And so let me please put out here, this is one of the ways where I always believe is important and critical to support local small businesses. No disrespect, H&R Block will be okay. I understand H&R Block will, maybe have employees, but LaShawn is a local business owner. She's hiring people in the community. Like, we have the power to have a direct impact by supporting local. So if you could provide us contact information this midway point before we go on to the next questions.
Absolutely. So you can contact me via phone at 440-342969 with any tax related questions. If you need to file, we can talk offline about each individual's personal situation. You can also find me on Instagram at LaShawn_Michelle. And then again on Facebook at LaShawn Reed-Hendricks. You can feel free to shoot me a direct message on either platform. Shoot me a text message on the phone number I provided, 440-834-2969.
I know we're having microphone issues, everybody, and so please bear with us. Say the number one more time slowly, because even I couldn't get all the numbers.
Okay. 440-834-2969.
Okay. Awesome. And so back to the question about 1099, small business owners, self-employed people, from a financial planning perspective, and you did hit a lot on that. it is really critical to file the tax returns for those purposes. When we are needing to apply for a mortgage, you need to be able to track or identify the amount of income that you have. And, to the extent of your receipts minus your expenses, how you modulate that is more reasons why you should have a conversation with a financial advisor and a tax advisor, so that you'll know exactly what your potential tax consequences are, and then you can act accordingly. As a financial advisor, I share with people the biggest tool that you must have is the ability to answer a question. So I know is not acceptable. You have to know, because now as you know what your tax consequences might be here or there, you can plan, adjust accordingly, because now you know versus operating in the blind. Secondly, again, when times like this, when there's stimulus dollars that are available, we need them. For my event planners that are out there, for my social media strategists that are out there, for the restaurant owners that are out there, the club owners, me, realtors, it's slowing down, clients, like my buyers only want to go in houses that are empty. But what if the dream of their house was one that somebody still lives in at the moment? And so the financial markets are all over the place. And so there's an impact. And so, and it hit me because and I'm not passing judgment. I'm one of those small business owners that, not that I didn't file it because I didn't want to, it's a headache gathering all of my receipts.
Yes.
And compartmentalizing that and documenting and trying to find my write-off. I mean, like, I would get 20 gray hairs. And so sometimes I might file every 2 years at one time. And I just move it down and do it 2 years in a row and get it out of the way. But so this morning it struck me because I was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness I just jumped out there and did it. And I happened to have did it on time. The guy doing my taxes, he was looking at me like, who are you? Where you come from? I never was on time. So we have to. So just some great questions or whatever out here. There was one question: does the Fed and the state have to be filed to be eligible? I think that you answered that question, but just because the question came in, if you could re-answer that.
Yes, you absolutely have to file both your federal and state to be eligible for the stimulus. They're going to look at the complete package. So filing your state is not going to be sufficient in order to receive the stimulus dollars. We can file state only for clients who, may not want to file the federal right now and may want to wait until the extension deadline comes up. But please know that if you're looking to get filed for the purposes of the stimulus, particularly, you need to file both your federal and state tax returns.
Right. And then just cool to know that just because you file and you may owe, you can set up payment arrangements.
Yes.
You're afraid to not file because you might owe. Yep. And right now they're deferring payments, and so you'll be able to benefit from the deferred payments and still be able to receive the stimulus. And so we just don't want us to miss out on these opportunities. This was the biggest, reason for wanting to come out here and share this, because this is critical, and we sometimes just financially slip for the lack of knowing, and we aren't able to maximize opportunities like this sometimes because we don't. So,
yeah.
So I think the other question that had came out, I think we might have asked all the questions. I'm looking through my notes here right quick with people jumping in, asking questions. We did it back time for taxes. We did for independent contractors. Oh, for people who are, I think, is it on disability or Social Security, and they are only withholding state. They're not withholding federal, not withholding enough of federal. What advice or suggestions you have for them?
So I would still say consult with a tax consultant and allow them to assess the situation for you. Whatever, I'm sure that you've received some kind of 1099 SSA. If you give them the information for the federal and for the state taxes, and once it's plugged in, at that time, then we would be able to let you know. Even if you're not getting a refund on the federal side, you still want to file those taxes, because even if the state is taking out taxes from that, you still may be eligible for a refund. The other thing is too, with this whole stimulus thing going on right now, you want to get it filed so that there's something on record for you filing your taxes, so that they have something to go off of, something to base it off of, to be able to qualify you for a stimulus check.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so we have about 4 more minutes left before we have to log off. And so again, I wanted to make sure that people were able to have our contact information. And so as always, I shared with everyone, feel free to reach out to me at AskTiffanyH@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram at ask_TiffanyH. And of course, my Facebook page, my business Facebook page is Ask Tiffany H as well. And LaShawn, can you provide your contact information as well?
Absolutely. So you can find me on Facebook at LaShawn Reed-Hendricks. You can find me on Instagram at LaShawn_Michelle. You can contact me via phone at 440-834-2969.
So what I would like to do is, for the people who were able to chime in today to see us live, for people who may see this a little bit later on, just so that we can kind of track some of this as well. If you forward this information and or need assistance, and you reach out to LaShawn or to myself, we would be willing to provide a discount, work on that, of $10 from your tax returns, or off your consultation fee. Just let them know that you tuned in and seen us here on this Facebook Live. And this way we can also just track it and and be able to find ways to help however we can. So again, don't forget to reach out to LaShawn if you have not filed your taxes. Available, her and her staff are there to help you. They're fully capable. So because we have situations like this, is there a way that they can come see you? Uh-oh, my battery going low, y'all. Hold on.
Okay.
They can come see you and or maybe give you the information electronically.
Yes. So right now, what I've done is just to keep, my employees as well as myself and my family, safe and follow the governor's orders. We're doing a stay at home. However, our business is set up to be able to take clients virtually. So everything can be submitted electronically. Everything can be signed electronically. So we have a full virtual process that we can use. And then for some of my clients who, are a little slower when it comes to technology, I will work through it with you. Don't feel overwhelmed. We'll get what we need to get from you. We'll make it happen. And so, yeah, we can service you without actually being in front of you face to face.
Awesome. Again, so please feel free to reach out to myself. Please, everyone is here, reach out to me and follow me on Instagram at _TiffanyH on Instagram. Here on Facebook, my business page. Please follow LaShawn at
LaShawn Reed-Hendricks on Facebook.
And her number is 440-834-2969.
Yeah.
Please feel free to reach out to her, contact her, reach out to me if you need some assistance for me to sit down and help you with some budgeting, financial planning, or anything to customize how to weather this. You know, we're here to help you. Please give us, like us, share, and comment. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we'll be with you again in the future with some more tidbits.
Thanks for having me, Tiffany.
Bye-bye.
Bye.